Hi, my name is Khalil, also known as Khalei, and I would like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today, I just wanted to talk about my coming out story. Um, just to bring you guys up to speed, I came out last year on January 27th of 2015, and now that it's been over a year, and I've got to experience being out for a little bit of time, I would say. Thought I would go ahead and share what I went through. Um, so just to kind of bring the story up to speed, I grew up in the Church of Christ. If anybody is familiar with that particular religion, they're not really fond of homosexuality, just like pretty much all the other religions. To make matters worse, my father is technically a preacher, which makes me technically a preacher's kid, which puts even more pressure on me. Um, and so then that brings us to that time. So the first person I told was my stepmother via text message. Um, the only reason I told her first was because throughout high school she, I believe, noticed things about me, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people noticed things about me. Not that I was trying to put them out there, but because I grew up being bullied about how I carried myself and just how I was, period, it was no surprise to me that she picked up on it as well. But she was kind enough to try to keep it between us and try to talk me through it. She thought that I was just confused. It wasn't that I was confused. I, for the most part, knew. I think I was just really hiding from it all my life. Because growing up, I was being bullied about it. And so I'm thinking, well, this has got to be such a bad thing. I need to try to be something other than that. I don't want to be something that I'm going to be persecuted for. So I tried to be everything but that, even though because of who I am, I can't help the way I carry myself or just how I am because that's just me. And so being me was, I guess, a crime, to other people. And I guess she picked up on it and thought that it was just confusion. And so she tried to help talk me through it. And so that's why I felt comfortable telling her first. And so I told her, and she was, for the most part, supportive. But then she hits me with a message saying that I need to tell my dad. And I was not ready to tell my dad because, as I just told you, he's up there in the church. So I was not ready to tell him that. But since she felt conflicted and it put her in an awkward situation, I just said I would go ahead and tell him. And so we all sat down and I told him. He was not too happy about it. But the first thing that he did ask me was, is that why you dress the way that you dress? And I said, no. My sexuality has nothing to do with the way that I dress. The way that I dress just expresses my creativity and my artistry. And so that upset me. And then he goes on to say that, he still loves me, but he does not condone my lifestyle. I hate when people call it a lifestyle, but that's what he said. But then the thing that hurt me the most was that if had I still been living with my parents, I feel like I would have most likely been kicked out, because he felt as though if I continued to live this lifestyle and I continue to bring it around the family, that he would not feel comfortable with me being around. And that sent thoughts running through my head that pretty much, if I were to still be there, I would have been out the door. That hurt a lot. So I wasn't really feeling comfortable to be around my family at that point. And so after experiencing that, I just went ahead and told my dad's parents, who are also very religious. My grandmother was like, well, what made you feel this way, and what caused you to be like this, and this isn't right, and are you sure, and please don't like, is there anything, that we can do to help you change your mind? And just a bunch of stuff that I wasn't trying to hear. And then I didn't even really talk to my grandfather about it. I didn't really care for what he had to say. So I just told her and left it at that. I know he wanted to talk to me about it, but I just wasn't going to do it because I was just emotionally draining because I was so nervous to even say anything in the first place because all my life I'm sitting here thinking I would never come out. I would never reach a point where I even felt comfortable uttering the words to anybody. And here I am, uttering the words that I thought I would never say. And the reaction I get is horrible. So that's pretty much the gist of my experience. All my friends were accepting, but overall it was just really, really just not what I wanted to hear. But I guess I have to understand that because of how I grew up, how I was raised, that wasn't going to happen anyway. So hopefully this helps other people to feel comfortable with coming out. My story, of course, wasn't the most drastic story, but it was still something that affected me pretty deeply just because I wanted to feel loved in the end. And I feel like they just kind of said, well, I still love you just to make me feel somewhat better about it. But at the end of the day, I knew what the business was and that they weren't having it. So, yeah, so I'm just going to stop the story there. That's pretty much the gist of it. Hopefully this helps somebody. If it does, like it, share it. You're more than welcome to subscribe. I would love to make more videos for you guys. And you all stay beautiful. And I wish you all nothing but peace and love. And I shall see you another time.